It's J Moore, the very best reviews. Tell them none can contest me, gon'
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the show. I'm here with another Real Talk Tuesday with lovely Kelly Lee. What's up?
Hey, Jay. Hey, chat. What's good? What's good? Happy 4th of July. Boom, boom, boom.
Ready for the bangarang?
Ready all day, every day. You see I'm my stars. I just can't show you all my stripes where my stripes is at right now.
We're going to use our imagination.
Do it.
What's good? What's good? How was your holiday weekend?
It was, Jay, it was very relaxing. I slept for several days. I didn't go outside. I was in the crib.
I hear that. I got me some rest myself, so
that's good.
I definitely can't complain. Yeah, definitely. Don't forget to put the hashtag JMoreReviews.
First.
Yes, that's right. Kelly always first in the building. I don't know if y'all gonna be able to beat her.
I be trying to do it, Jay.
Yeah, man. I'm glad I got me a little rest too. I had a hell of a week last week. Very busy, so.
Okay.
I definitely needed the rest. I'm still trying to get some rest and recuperate. So, but we
when
here.
You do what you do it like you're doing it for TV, Jay.
I'm trying my best. All right.
You more than that, Jay. You doing it. You giving it to them.
I hope so. I hope so. You know. All right. So, Savannah say Uncle Jay must have a girlfriend. He looking like a rock star. I don't know about all that.
He a rock star already.
I don't know about either one of those. But
whatever, Jay.
I'm trying. So, look at that. That's why I'm trying to look like that.
I gotta get my my other one for my drinky drink.
I know. I need to get mine back too. I left it in the kitchen. Next
week you're gonna be ready, Jay.
Right, straight gin, no chaser. Savannah always liked that one. All right. All right. We got a lot to talk about. We was talking about some stuff this week that came up that was very new to me, especially, that we gonna talk about, and then we got some other topics that we gonna get into on Instagram that people sent to me. Kendall, thank you for the super chat. Shout out,
Kendall.
Definitely appreciate it. And every little bit adds up and helps, and definitely much needed over here. I got a little something for you, Kendall.
1, 2. That's it. That's it. That's it. With your arms now. That's it.
Did a little dance for you, Kendall.
I love it. I love it.
That's it.
You got that right. I did sleep through the fireworks and the gunshots. At this point, I don't even know which is which. They just blended together.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm. When I hear the frizz at the end, then I'm like, all right, we good.
Yeah, I don't even cross my mind to participate in no shoot the gun and stuff. Wasting those stuff and have to pay for that stuff for what?
But you know what I heard? So it's illegal. Well, it was supposed to be legal out here in New York. However, they started selling them at Target. Like, what? Yeah.
But they probably are the cheap kind. They probably ain't the kind that, have the real, pack the punch.
Well,
they'll sell the light sparklers. Yeah, see, they'll sell the smoke and the sparklers and a couple of little bottle rockets maybe, but they won't sell the kind that they go bang. They don't sell the bangarang.
No bombs over Baghdad.
Hell
no. Like that the other day.
Right. Definitely. So that's the thing. And people think, oh, we could buy something. We able to buy it. which is crazy. Like Illinois, now they got you can buy weed legally, and you can carry a gun now legally, but you can't get fireworks. Like, come on, you got to leave some of this stuff. You got to move on past some of that now.
You know, we getting ready for the gun laws in New York too. So let's see what happened with that, Jay.
Yeah, I saw. Wasn't that up in the Supreme Court?
Jay, I'm just waiting for the shit show. So, like that, but you know, we're not accustomed to that, right? We're a big city. We're not accustomed to that. So
that's how Chicago was. You couldn't have a gun in Chicago until just a few years ago, legally.
Okay, so let me ask you, how did that turnover work? Was it successful, or?
I think law-abiding citizens feel better knowing that they can protect themselves legally instead of knowing that they at the whim of whatever somebody want to do to them, and then they gotta hope the police can save them. You know, so I'm not gonna say it made things better or worse. I don't know all the statistics on that, but I know people feel better if you are law-abiding. Exactly. Before, if you was a law-abiding citizen and you had somebody threatening you, or if you was a woman worried about some stalker or something, there's nothing you could do.
Right.
Now you could at least get a gun and you'll feel a little better. Now, I don't know if it'll work, or if you shoot the guy, or if you freeze up in that moment or whatever, but at least once you get it, you'll feel a little better and safer in the immediate. And I don't know how the rest play out yet, but
we'll see how it goes over here.
Right. People are not so quick to run up on people that they think have a gun as well.
Right. I get that.
Yeah.
And you said something about that before, which, I'm holding on to, is that, when they have the legalities in order, people will be more apprehensive to run up on you because they don't know if I'm going to stand my ground.
Right. Yeah, they don't know what somebody else may have and stuff. And one of the first eye-opening things I experienced is when I came to Indianapolis and they were advertising that it's a gun show at the, state fairgrounds. I'm like, oh, a gun show. They're like, yeah, they'll have all kind of guns. You can see them, buy them. You do all this stuff. I'm like, oh, I'm going to check that out. I ain't never seen nothing like that in Chicago. And when I went, I saw some of the nerdiest, straight-laced looking people you would have never in your life thought would be having a gun there. With guns, rifles, little Barbie girls with rifles and taking aim. I'm like, whoa.
Right.
You don't know who you make encounter that'll blow your head off. You better be careful who you try to rob or run up on down here.
Right.
So, yeah, and there wasn't many black folks in there.
Well,
yeah, it wasn't many. And they was in there.
We've been known to have the best reputation on the legal side of things.
Right, exactly. They was in there putting their own guns together and all kind of stuff. I'm like, wow, they take it to another level.
Right.
I mean, a whole nother level. So, yeah, you didn't know who you may encounter in there and what they was about. But it wasn't no typecast of people you would have thought.
Okay.
It was the exact opposite. So, yeah.
So be careful who you pull up on.
Exactly. And so I was like, whoa. Don't argue with people down here. You don't know what that may happen.
Right.
So definitely was, different. So we was talking in Discord the other day, and we was talking about women that were putting boric acid in their woman area, the vaginal area, the hoo-ha. Exactly. And I thought that was completely crazy. But you gave me some more information, and while you do that, I'm going to pull up some stuff. Go ahead and explain a little bit about women putting boric acid as well as other products in their cootie cat.
Well, I seem to see it a lot more all over the internet now. Like, why I would never put, boric acid in my most valued special place in the whole wide world, Jay. Okay? I would never. But, I feel like there's this thing that's going around that women are in a space where, they don't want any scent, any odors. They want to, I guess it's in good nature where they want to really protect themselves. But
this woman said it saved hers.
The body, okay, so our experts, I'm not sure if she's going to come through tonight, Barika, she did explain to me that bacterial vaginosis, in the extreme sense, they do prescribe, I guess, a pill or something with the boric acid. And look, he was like, ask Granny. Okay, I dang sure I'm not putting nothing in mine. I'm not putting nothing. I'm not steaming it. I'm not throwing no eggs up in there. I'm not boric acid in it. And I've never had a problem. And maybe that's why this stuff is so foreign to me. But I ain't doing it, Jay. It's made to clean itself.
I'm going to let you speak on this. You're more the expert on this than me, so I'm going to let you go.
All right. So,
while you are talking, I'll scroll up on this if people want to read along on this as well, but go ahead.
Okay, so there's a lot of things going around now, and I guess sometimes to me it seems like people are trying to make a quick buck in selling these bush baths to sit over and steam your vagina and, I don't know, make stuff fall out, or I don't know if they think stuff goes in, but the body is made to protect itself, right? So as much as you think that there's steam and whatever bush you boiling is going up in there, the body's made to keep unwanted things out. So what you could potentially be doing, more or less, is to be throwing off your natural pH and incurring more imbalances that's going to promote bacterial vaginosis, yeast infections, and yes, we can get stuff on our own, not STIs/STDs, but we can get infections on our own when our pH balance is off. And, some men, I guess, you meet a woman and she's frowsy and, she wants to protect herself. So she's going to go to these, putting eggs up in her stuff, steaming it, buying boric acid in the store, in the roach and rat section, because I always knew that that's like, roach powder. So I'm like, how do you put that in your stuff? Like, how does it work?
Yeah,
so,
I don't know how somebody even decided to do that.
It was just like, Jay, it's out there. For real.
Yeah, that's just crazy. I don't understand how this fixes it. I'm going, this is what this woman is saying about it, but she's also trying to promote V-Cleanse, which is pharmaceutical grade boric acid.
Right. So maybe if I were to use something like that, it would have to be prescribed. I'm dang sure not getting it from the store, because you don't know how to properly apply it, what percentages are going to work. Right. Look, somewhere in the thing you're saying it offsets your pH balance, because it's all about the pH balance. That's what you get. Good yeast that's normally in there. And then when you set it off for all these different things, you could be stressed out as a woman. Set it off, you got crazy yeast. You got
baking a cake. It say here that it rebalances your pH and increases the level of helpful bacteria in the vag.
Okay, but do you know what percentages are used in that? Like, this is what I'm saying. It would have to be prescribed, because there's no way I am going to get a bag and push it in there or whatever, or a pill, and I don't know what percentages are used. I mean, I would definitely hope to get a doctor to prescribe it. So God forbid anything go wrong, you liable, not me just going online and figuring out like, I can make this concoction because I know I got boric acid in the section that they sell with the rat traps, Jay.
Yeah, that is crazy. They say this came with a magic wand. She stuck the pill up there with.
No, Jay. I'm very, very. I'm not gonna say it doesn't work, but I would never do that for fear of the dosages, right? And what happens is this: you could think, like, remember? Okay, so back in the days, douche was a big thing, right? To douche out, woof, everything that was cool. Then you came to find out douching is wrong. Douching is not cool.
I never heard that it was wrong before. What?
Douching offsets your pH balance. So if you put vinegar up in there or too much water that's not supposed to be up in there, right? You're going to offset your pH balance. And that's what sets off the yeast infection or look, you see the BV, that's bacterial vaginosis, right?
I thought that was booty vag.
Oh my God, I'm done. No, it's bacterial vaginosis. And there's a meme with that. I'll send it to you in Discord. But in any event, you offset your pH balance in there. So what you do now is when you finish using it, all you realize is you could get an influx now of yeast. And it promotes you to use more, but all you're doing is really making it worse.
So if a man going down, he better not swallow.
Wipe his lip.
You better gargle. Forget about swallow. Gargle and spit.
Something, but men should also, know this. No, because listen, guys need to know because it's not
damn right I need to know.
It's a taboo subject that a woman is barely gonna tell a guy, right? She doesn't want to have a foul odor, but she needs to understand that all of these things creates imbalances, and you don't want to have that as a woman, and you don't want to be negatively, I guess, reacted to or treated when somebody else experiences that with you. But when you're going into popping these eggs and all this good cheerful stuff in there, I'm not going to lie, it's no good.
Yeah, because, as a woman, if my girlfriend or wife was saying, hey, I'm going to put this up there, I'd be like, really? Why? And then she would say something and I would be like, okay, I'm out of it. And I wouldn't be able to say, no, you need to know that you're upsetting your pH and that actually you don't need that to rebalance it, honey. She'd be like, how do you know so much?
And I'm looking out for you, boo. That's all.
I've done my homework on my favorite thing in life. I understand it. I am one with it.
Do you know men transfer yeast infections from woman to woman by not using protection?
Wow. No, I didn't. What?
Well, Jay, come on. If you think about it,
I know they could transfer STD, but how does a man get the yeast from a woman
the same way,
and then transfer it to another woman?
Exact way. And then you end up with a dude and you realize your chemistry is off because he dipping and dabbling everywhere and you don't know what they're coming with. So you get in it's the exact way of an STD, STI. Exact way. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of information. You guys have a lot more to look out for than us. We got musty nut syndrome. But that's curable with soap and water and we good. Because, boy, they can get musty and they be
that's
like,
woo. We're supposed to be too, Jay. All we need is soap and water. We're not supposed to use all of that stuff. For real, D-Weaves. I'm telling you. We're not supposed to really be using all of that stuff. When you use all of that stuff, that's when you try to me, put yourself in complications, right? And then you end up in this horrible cycle of trying to remedy the problem, but you're making it worse. So the minute you stop, then you have this overwhelming case of yeast infection. And then if somebody sees it, they're trying to, shame you or whatever the case, but not knowing that, or maybe you not knowing that what you're thinking that you're preventing is actually multiplying the stuff in there. And then you feel ashamed, you feel all this good cheerful stuff, and you keep on doing it, not knowing that the thing that you're doing to help you is harming you.
Yeah, because I didn't know when I was younger that a woman can't have baby oil up in there or around there. This girl like, what you doing with that? I'm like, what?
Yes, or you got your high perfume content of Bed Bath and Beyond and all this good cheerful stuff, and you use it
so
and
soft.
it's like that ain't no.
I thought it could go everywhere.
No, it ain't supposed to go there, Jay.
I'm like, why? Slap it everywhere. What?
I'm telling you.
She's like, no, don't put that there. I'm like, all right, my bad. I ain't trying to force
Thank
it.
You. Right. And also keeping in mind that the things that we put inside of our bodies create, to me, the ultimate change, right? If your diet is balanced, your body's going to work better. If you are, having consumptions, high sugar consumption or whatever, that could set off your pH. And then you be making more cake.
All right, here goes something right here. Okay. Women and people have been talking about pH. What exactly is it? How does it work? So men can have understanding, because we don't have, that. I remember the commercial, Strong Enough for a Man, pH Balance for a Woman.
Mitchum, right?
It's one of them deodorants. I don't remember which one.
But
what is that for
I'm
all the
gonna
men
say
that don't know?
That was a question for Barika to explain, because she is the medical expert.
I sent her the link, so I don't know.
So we got it, but
Maybe
I think
she's
busy.
busy.
I'm not sure.
Right,
but
she may be busy.
I would definitely want her to give the medical information on that, so that I don't give my perspective.
Well, give your perspective. I can easily Google it and look it up. I mean, but while you give that, I'll look it up.
Okay, so in my I think pH, you have to tell me what it stands for, because now I'm losing it.
Okay.
However, I know it's a natural balance, right? So the pH, remember, okay, so ladies would know this. As for toners back in the days, they were highly acidic. It's the balance between alkaline and acidity.
I was trying to think of alkaline water earlier today.
Right, so I know it's the balance between alkaline and acidity, right? It's a mutual balance point.
It's secret deodorant is what,
secret, right.
Yeah.
So you can have the extremes. Too much alkaline, too much acidity, right? And when you go to the extremes, that's when it's off. Okay. You have to find the natural balance.
So you guys should have like test strips. I'm just thinking like a man.
Well,
we would have test strips. We would be tested. Right. Men would have test strips, tested it. All right, I'm between 3.4 and 5. All right, I need to get right here. All right, I know where I'm at. Men are scientific like that. And what this says is what you basically said. A measure of how acidic or alkaline a substance is. The pH of a certain substance is described as a number between 0 to 14. That's what made me think of test strips. How do you know where you are on this scale?
Well, you, as a woman, you'll know when that sucker start falling out.
So what number... What number do you normally fluctuate between? How many women know that? That's what I'm saying.
Well, I can tell you that not a lot of women know that, unless you're specifically seeking that information. You're just not going to know. This is why
I would have me some test strips to stick and check and be like, oh, okay, I'm about a 6.2 today.
Let's Google it, Jay. Do they have...
They probably do.
Feminine pH test strips. They probably do. Why
not, I'm about to start making them. Do not steal my idea. Anybody
Just
watching?
get it done tonight. Get it done tonight.
Right. It says the lower number is the more acidic the substance. Distilled
Right.
water is neutral and has a pH of 7. And
Right.
the vaginal pH of a healthy vagina is a 3.5 to 4.5, which is acidic. See?
So now listen to this. Now, if you're doing a douche, right, and you're throwing water up in there, and the water is sending your pH to 7, that means you out of whack. So that could produce more yeast inside of you because that's the negative yeast building up, and that's the stuff that falls out.
Okay.
I mean, it does. It does. I mean, it's gonna. The vagina is made to clean itself, Jay. We
So
will
it
want to
automatically.
be like that.
So it's like a car where it maintains the
Okay,
engine
to be
temperature at
fair, they do
3.5 to
have
4.5.
Yes. So you can. So anything that's going to take you outside of the 3.5 to 4.5, it is going to set you off. And
Cheryl
when you
said
get
if you start itching, that's when you off. Up, I got an itch. Time to go.
Right. Now look at this, right? Women who are pregnant because of the hormones that's going up, down, and in between, right? A lot of women, either at the beginning, they say, or the end of the pregnancy, suffer from yeast infections. It's supposed to be a natural thing. Not all women. Some women go through without it. However, the up and down of the hormones trying to balance themselves out when you're pregnant sets you off. Boom, yeast infection. Somebody might be like, oh my gosh, she this, that, or the third. No, that's natural, right? But it's how you take care of your body to make it balance is the key. If you wearing tight jeans and you pegging in your jeans 24/7, Jay, when you look at that type of female, there's something wrong in there.
What you mean pegging?
The two pegs, Jay, in the middle of the jeans.
Two pegs.
Did I say it wrong?
What are you camel toe?
Yes, the camel toe, right? The camel toe. If she got camel toe every day, all day, every day, it's too hot in there, it's too congested in there, and it can't breathe. Your balance is off. Trust and believe it, Jay. Trust and believe it. If she wears underwear and you don't see that cotton strip in the middle, there's a problem, Jay.
I know,
Trust and
right?
believe.
I never heard of that. That's hilarious.
Yes, our underwears can throw us off. The pants can throw us off. Almost anything that sets off our pH. If it's too hot, it's not good. It needs air to breathe.
See, that's the exact opposite. Men see the camel toe and they like, that's what I want. Yes, that means it's ready and ripe like a fruit. Ready to get plucked.
Jay, to what we were saying in this court, right? When you go and you thinking, ooh, look at this beautiful, what kind of cream donuts? And all of a sudden...
Say that one more time, though. That was funny.
The cream donut. You know, y'all guys be like, oh, this donut is so creamy. And then you don't know. It's like you about to bake some cake. Jay, it's a real thing, and guys need to know that. Not every creamy donut is cream.
Wow. Yeah, that one woman shot herself with all of that
in her face.
That was wow. Wow, that was one for the record books. All right. This right here is the test strips for only $10.
Get it. If you need it, get it. Why not?
I would get it if I thought I didn't need it, just so I know where I stand and where I feel. Like if I'm feeling good, I would test it now and be like, okay, when I feel good, I'm normally fluctuating about a 3 to 2. You see what I'm saying? Okay, that's my good level. Okay, and if I'm running in the red zone and I'm about a 5.5, I need to bring it down about 2.2 to 3 notches on the RPMs.
Right. So, like, you see, woman, you remember the alkaline water was a hot thing back in the day? Well, I don't know if it's still a hot thing. But too much of everything or anything is no good. So if you were into the alkaline water and you just pumping alkaline water into your system, you're looking to offset the balance of your body chemistry. So you want to be able to always maintain balance. Look, some people, when they eat too much red meat, it offsets their hormones. It offsets
get the gout.
Right. So you want to be able to track your body, get in tune to your body, learn about it, and know, okay, fine. Too much red meat or red meat 5 times a week is no good for me. So maybe I'll just do it once a week, because you could create balance in your life. You know what I mean? But these things that we put on the inside do affect, what's coming out.
Let me ask y'all this right quick. Okay. Cheryl Battle said, who's spending money on that? Ladies, be honest. Put a 1 if you would buy these strips. They only $10. Put a 2 if you wouldn't. And guys, if you had to deal with this, how many of you would buy these strips? Put a 1, and if not, put a 2.
Don't lie, guys. Don't lie.
Please don't lie, everybody. Me personally, I would buy them because I like to know this stuff. Just like men with diabetes strips and women, or you got your blood pressure, cuff. You need to know where your blood pressure is normally. I would have these, and I would know.
You want to know your base numbers. You want to know what your base number is.
Yeah, and if I wasn't feeling that not so fresh feeling, I would go ahead and get a little dip. see how many points I done scored tonight, and I might be off, and make adjustments.
Well, here's what I think, Jay. I would prefer to buy these pH strips as opposed to buying a bush bath to stoop over this thing to throw steam up in there, which is another extreme factor that affects your pH. The steam, right? Or to throw a friggin' egg in there. I don't want to put an egg in there to fix it. I just prefer use the strips and track what I'm doing and make movements to balance my intake or my diet or whatever, or my stress levels, mental health, all this good cheerful stuff. Then push an egg in there and put some bush steam up under it afterwards. I'm not beefing that, Jay. Nuh-uh.
Yeah, if I was a woman,
a little emotional. I'm so sorry.
You all right? If I was a woman, I definitely would not be putting boric acid and eggs and bushes and leaves. Nah, I wouldn't be doing that, sticking that up me.
Like they got like lavender and thyme and some other stuff, and they put it in a cheesecloth, and then you soak it in the steam and you stoop over it. Yeah, and then you think that's sweating, but that's just natural sweat that's coming off from your pores. Do you really think that it's drawing out certain things? Your body is designed to clean itself. And if your body can't clean itself, then you need medical help.
Right. Damian Kenny said, what's the egg?
I think it's the uni egg. They call it a uni egg, a noonie egg. Do y'all know what it is? And ask them, Jay, in the chat. Like,
anybody know about putting the egg up there? And I ain't talking about, for trick or treat.
It's an egg.
What the Easter egg hunt.
That's right. That's the egg they ain't gonna find, Jay.
Yeah, I know, right? You may not want that one. You got scrambled.
It'll come out, what was the boiled egg, a hard boiled egg?
Right, steamed egg. Nah, I'm good.
I'm good, too.
Nah, but yeah, some people, truth be told, said yoni egg.
Yoni egg, right. So they have a whole thing about that, Jay, where they push the egg up, and I don't know if the egg's supposed to suck out. Jay, I don't use this stuff, so I'm not going to tell you I'm proficient in them, but the egg's supposed to draw out stuff, and what? If you need these apparatus to make your vagina healthy, you need the doctor.
Wow, these are the pictures of the eggs right here.
I'm telling you, Jay, they eggs. They put the eggs up in there. These women are doing everything for men to say their vagina smells like pineapples or whatever the case may be. No.
They got some of these for $77.99, but you can get you a Walmart one. And so how much you really care about your... I'm going to get me a Walmart one. Shoot, mine smell like it's on sale.
Look at them putting crystal. Okay, so what's that? A crystal J quartz egg.
Kegel exercise. So what, you supposed to squeeze that egg, see if you can pop it? Come give me that pee-pee. Bow, I'm going to snap it off.
Kegel, that's a whole different thing, right? That's exercising your walls and such like that. But I don't know about putting nothing that don't belong. That ain't natural up in there. Okay, I don't know what else to say. I just don't know what else to say. But I ain't buying no egg to clean my stuff out. No.
Yeah, you guys have a whole new world of things that we never thought about or know about. You guys have had all this stuff secret.
Right. To me, right, Cheryl, is just go to the doctor if you have a problem, and then you'll be able to do this. You buying all of this stuff off of Amazon and stuff like that in hopes that it will cure what clearly is a problem. Because if you have bacterial vaginosis, Jay, pull that up. Let's get the proper definition of that. So if you have bacterial vaginosis, or if you have a yeast infection, chronic yeast infections where you can't stop them, then you need to go to the GYN. You don't need to go buy a bush bath and sit over it to try and cure what you think you have, because you actually don't know.
Yeah, bacterial
Sometimes just water, putting water in your diet is going to help dilute the potency of a lot of other things that you're consuming.
It says this is very common. More than 3 million U.S. cases a year. I mean, that's not very common. 3 million is what? 350 million people in the U.S.? At least 150 women? So 100? 150? I don't know. 3 million people is a lot, though. If they all stood together, that would be a big,
right. And we're not speaking
crowd.
About men. We're only speaking about us, women here.
It says,
and women of a certain age, supposedly, hopefully.
Okay. It says overgrowth of bacteria normally present in the area. And
right. So we have our natural occurrences, right? We have the natural stuff that's in there.
It says women of childbearing
that's when
age.
The problem comes.
Yeah, it says women of childbearing age.
Right.
It says activities that change the balance of bacteria in the vagina, such as sexual intercourse or frequent douching.
There you go, Jay. I wasn't telling you no lies.
Well, see, that's why you here. I'm sitting here listening. I'm learning myself.
I told you no lies, right?
It says it can increase a person's risk. In some cases, there are no symptoms. In other cases, there may be abnormal discharge, itching, or odor. Treatment can include prescription cream, gel, or medication. Recurrence within 3 to 12 months is common, requiring additional treatment.
Ugh. So you want to be able to get into the knowing of your habits, right? If you are with someone and you've never had these recurring cases of chronic yeast infection or BV, and you get a new sex partner, and all of a sudden, you're getting these things, something's wrong, Jay. He's dipping and dabbling in everybody's cake batter. Mm-hmm.
So, men, you got to be a little more responsible. Get those condoms. And
a lot of women know from that. They know. That's one of their telltale signs that, wait a minute, something's off with me. I know how I am, and now I'm with him, and all of a sudden, boom, bam, bim is going on inside of me. That's not going to cut it. And then when you accuse him, no, I already know you're doing something because I'm different.
And we never knew that part.
Because it's a fact. Now you know.
There you go. Hey, that's real right there. I never knew that part. I never been in that situation. I'm a good guy.
All right, Jay.
But I didn't know women did know that part. If it was a little off, some women could tell.
Yes, because women, we are on the receiving end. Remember, we receive all of the unwanted and or wanted things, right? So we're able to tell, especially that's one of the telltale signs. Your body starts rejecting the guy. A woman's body is going to reject the guy. She's going to get a case of VV. The yeast is going to flame up or go in the opposite direction. All kind of stuff happens. So
is Suburbia correct with this? Taking a bath right after sexual intercourse can help prevent a yeast infection?
Yes. Anything that you can do to clean yourself properly from the outside, right? Because the body is supposed to clean itself from the inside out, right? That's why women have natural, normal discharge. It's gonna come out because that's how the body is made to work in good order, right? So you have natural discharge, but on the outside, of course, get rid of that because you don't want the extra stuff lingering around, throwing off your pH. Interrupting with that. So as much as you can be clean, then go for it.
Okay. Makes
you
sense.
see, look, that's how her friend knew the ex was cheating, because women know, because our bodies react to nastiness, Jay. They no other way to say it.
Hey, guys, y'all better be careful out there.
We may not be able to put our finger on it to say, oh, I definitely know you doing this with X, Y, Z, ABC, but we know you doing it because our bodies are reacting differently from how it was behaving prior to you coming into the scene.
Yeah, man, your mouths may lie, but the ding ding don't.
Hey.
It will tell on you.
Exactly. It's going to tell on you.
Right. So, wow, that's a lot of new information.
We should do part 2 when we have our clinical expert, Barika, tuned in, because she's going to give it to us, not just from general knowledge, but from the medical perspective. So let's tap in a part 2 for this, Jay.
Okay. Sound good. Now, let's talk about a couple of videos that was sent to me on Instagram. This right here, this is a crazy story. Let me pull it up. Hold on. This dude got 10 years in prison.
Oh.
For one of the dumbest reasons. Let me see. Why is it not loading? Hold on.
Load it, Jay.
No, it's not loading for some reason. Why is this thing?
Try another one.
Well, while I'm getting that to load, here go Barika coming through right on time.
Hi, hon.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, glad to have you. Appreciate you coming.
Y'all got me flying down the highway. I'm like, I gotta hurry up and get home because y'all fooling.
Exactly. Hi, Barika.
What did you want to add on the BV and some technical things or something or whatever?
The boric acid.
Definitely that.
Okay, so first off, I am not an expert. I just have been in the medical field for 15 years, so I'm just privy to certain information and dealing with women's health. So that is it. That is all. I am not a doctor. So please, if you are having issues with your area, please go see a board certified gynecologist. If you're not going to see the gynecologist, see a nurse practitioner or a midwife so they can get the situation rectified. There's nothing that's embarrassing about it. It happens every day. So with that being said, yes, boric acid in a suppository form is often prescribed for women who have chronic bacterial vaginosis.
CJ.
So you're not going to HEB or I don't know, Walmart to like the bug spray roach section or something and going and getting it done.
Put a teaspoon.
Because what Kelly said to me, like, that's for roaches. I'm like, what?
Ain't that what they use to kill roaches, though?
I asked my husband about it because, you know, like his family's from the country. And so they were saying like that's like a home remedy that they use like in the country to keep roaches from like
You
coming
can buy
onto
it.
your farm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no.
Why would you put it in your JJ?
Yeah, how does that help? What does that do?
So when a woman has chronic bacterial vaginosis, it's basically like the opposite of a yeast infection. So with the body, you have to have like your equilibrium, right? When you talk about pH balance, in the body, everything is equal, right? You have one side and another side, right? So when you have like an overflow of good bacteria, that's a yeast infection.
Okay.
And then if you have like an overflow of bad bacteria, that's BV. So women who are more so prone to BV, it happens a lot when women are pregnant. The changing in the hormones, that's very common. Also, women who are very athletic, like if you work out a lot, if you sweat a lot, and you wear those tight clothes and you're constantly sweating in those tight clothes, and you don't change the clothes immediately after you've worked out or after you've gone swimming, you're going to be more prone to having a situation with BV. So that's where that comes from. So there's other things that are prescribed first, but often if they've had chronic issues and nothing else has worked, then those suppositories are often prescribed.
Here go that Zappa roach. It kills the cucarachas. 100%.
I had to mute myself because that's exactly what I saw.
Cucarachas, adios. 100% boric acid.
You gotta show your husband this because this is exactly what I saw.
Oh my God.
Now it's saying kill them where they live, hide, and breed. Is that where they decided to use that from? No, I'm just joking.
Okay, let's just say this,
15
right?
bucks.
Please,
You get a 2-pack for 15 bucks and it's got the easy squirt nozzle.
No woman used this as a remedy or anything on their body. Please go to the doctor. Do not use this. Do not use this and think it's going to save your vajayjay. Because please don't do it.
Yeah.
Please don't do it.
Yeah.
They say it's
that's
multi-purpose.
part of the problem with the information age that we are in, where people will go and Google things or they see somebody online and they just take information and run with it instead of vetting really what they've been told.
Right.
It comes down to coronavirus, right? So like when the pandemic first started, y'all remember like those super like fake woke people that were like, oh, all you gotta do is have alkaline foods and you won't get coronavirus or it's gonna cure coronavirus. All you need is like these citrus fruits and you'll be fine. Okay, right. Okay, so that information did come from a study, but the study was pertaining to marsupials. So these were rodents, these were mice, or mice,
kangaroos,
these were rats, hamsters, and how they reacted to a different strain of coronavirus. And in their bodies, they do have different type of pH levels. And how having acidic things helped them. But they had nothing to do with the human body. Okay. So that's where the difference is when we're talking about getting like sound information before you just go and run on something. That's why it's imperative, like if you have an issue, go talk to your doctor because it happens a lot. A lot of those products that you see over the counter at different stores, they work for some people and some people they may not work for it. Some people, their bodies may be more sensitive than others. I know Jay was making a reference to the baby oil thing, right? And so for a lot of women, you can't use oil-based products. it does not agree with you. So that's where that came from. That's for external use only. So for most women,
I was gonna rub it everywhere.
But you can't put it there. It's gonna.
I'm gonna put it get it all nice and glossy everywhere. She's like, hold up. What the hell you doing?
If you think about what oil does as well, you won't put oil and use it in certain situations because oil is a natural sealant. So oil, say for example, you have dry skin or you have an issue, the oil is going to cover that and it's going to make whatever it is under it fester. So if you have dry skin, you put oil over it without moisturizing that skin, it's going to make it more dry because the oil is going to seal anything from going out and coming in. So you have to be, aware. But like what in regards to the alkaline, yes, alkaline does reduce mucus, but you don't want to over alkaline your body so much that the natural mucuses in your body are also depleting. You need to be at a balance, and that's what a lot of people don't take into consideration when they self-medicate. But wherever you self-medicating, and we talking about the vajayjay, but it's basically self-medicating in overdrive, and then you're doing more harm than good. That's why if you use it, like Barika said, if you have chronic BV, you want to get a prescription for this thing here. Don't go buy that roach thing and be like quack, 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 quack up in there and, be like, I got boring.
Get
100%.
a big old squeeze, a big old puff of that stuff up there.
No, it's definitely all about balance, creating balance.
And Damien, I was young, very young, I think maybe 20, give or take. So.
Yeah. And like Kelly just said, it's the same thing as far as adding that oil because you don't want to make it too dry. And that's another thing because you don't want to be diagnosing yourself and it's with the improper diagnosis. And like you said, using the test strips, we actually do use those in medical facilities. We actually do have microscopes in there, and we actually do put the newspaper and do the test for women who are pregnant. And if they come in and they think that they're like in early labor, that is a definite way to check to see if she's leaking fluid from the amniotic sac, like from her womb. To check, like we do a litmus test. We actually do. So
because medical field and all that stuff, I'm not trying to get into men, women, because of course there's men and women in every field, but it's about analytics and numbers, and men are more analytical whereas women are more emotional and feeling based. So a woman may say, well, I feel this way, I'm good, I wouldn't buy that, where men would be like, no, what's my number, bro?
Get the numbers.
Yeah, I need my number, bro. That's why men will sit there and argue over points per game in sports or something, whereas women would be like, well, I just like him, he a good player, and they don't know what the points per game, they don't care.
Right.
But we need to know them stats.
You have to moisture, and I'll be an advocate. Like one of my prime products is a face oil, right? You can't put oil on anything dry. It just doesn't work. Oil is the ultimate sealant. So you don't want to put that down there because God forbid if you do have a problem, the oil is going to magnify it. If you don't know how to treat yourself properly, and everything that you do should be outside. It should not go inside whatsoever. When you put in, all of that. So, okay, Barika, let's hear your take on the steam baths, the bush baths that they sit over and steam professionally.
I mean, some women do it. Some women say that it helps to get the elasticity going, making some things feel a little bit tighter in there. I've heard people say different things, but most times than not, is really not recommended when you're talking about from like your healthcare provider. You're not really supposed to be inserting things in there typically, unless it's something that's prescribed, right? When it comes to hygiene, you're really supposed to just use water for the internal part. Of course, like for the external areas where you may have hair, you may want to wash that down, right? But for the internal areas, you're supposed to just use water. That's really what it's for. It cleans itself. Now, when you do have those situations where, say, like there's a yeast infection, or an increase, right, in the flora, which is the discharge that women actually have, right? You want to have something that's going to help you to equal out. So like you were saying with the diet, if you're having too many red meats or food that's too citrusy or things that are high in sugar content, so watch out for that. But also make sure you have enough water, because that makes a huge difference in what your flora is going to look like. And then also have yogurt, because that helps to balance you out too.
I've heard
probiotic. You got to step up your probiotic game, guys.
I've heard that. Again, I'm sitting here listening and learning, so I may make a joke or two.
What about the vaginal laser trend?
Right.
Hey, do you know about that?
Oh, okay. Is that Tressa? Okay. Is she? Are you talking about?
I'm gonna Google it while you all are looking
the
at
it.
For vaginal rejuvenation. Is that the trend that she's talking about?
Laser? I don't want no laser on my hoo-ha.
Is she talking about like laser hair removal or for like the plumping, like the vaginal rejuvenation?
Well, I just Googled it. It's got some diagrams.
I don't want no laser on my butterfly, okay? I don't think so.
Femalift for vaginal rejuvenation.
Yeah,
laser
for vaginal
treatment.
Yeah, those are pretty common. Most I've seen it a lot in the last 10 years. Women usually pay about $3,000 out of pocket for those.
So what is it?
This is before and after
basically
picture
like
right here.
a lip plumper for the lips below. That's like the simplest way to explain it.
Yeah, see this before picture? That's like throwing a hot dog down the hallway. And this one right here.
I'm muting myself. I'm about to put myself on mute. No, you didn't say throw the hot dog. I'll put myself on mute.
And this one's a lot tighter. It's like a glove. All right. If it don't fit, you got to keep working it, because that's good hit.
Now, hot dog down the hallway, Jay.
Hey. That's the first thing I saw and thought of.
Oh gosh, the hot dog down the hallway. So B, how do they do it? Do they what they take skin or flesh from somewhere else?
That's non-invasive, so you're not getting cut or anything like that. That's usually done in office. And that procedure, they may sit for maybe 30, 45 minutes, depending on how much they're doing in that session. But it's a heated wand and lubrication that is used. And it just helps to stimulate that area, causing it to swell a little bit, bringing more blood flow to it. And it is like a lip plumper, but for the lips below. That's pretty much what it's like. It's not the same as like getting like a vaginoplasty or like a labiaplasty, where that's like a full-on surgical procedure where you're taking skin and things like that and
like
surgically tightening
the area and put it in there. B, is that what you're saying?
No, I don't know anything about that transfer. That's the BBL.
Get the fat out my fupa. That's all.
The BBL taking the fat from the poop into the butt. Now that's pretty common, but I've never seen that in a labiaplasty. No, but the vaginal rejuvenation, I've seen a lot of people get that done. A lot of people, but they typically will do like 3 sessions of it, and in a total about $3,000.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what you got to do to beat it up so bad that it fall apart?
So it's not even about necessarily a woman's activity sexually. Some women, it may have come from having a number of kids, like having like vaginal deliveries from childbirth.
Stretch it out.
That may have caused some things to loosen up. And then some women, it's just aesthetically, they may not like the outer appearance of the labia. So they may want to plump that area to give it more of a, youthful, fuller look.
Great.
But some women are just born like that.
So it says right here,
didn't I tell you about the youthful stuff, Jay? We had that conversation the other day. It looks youthful.
Right. It says right here in this picture, the purpose of vaginal rejuvenation is to reverse the effects of menopause. I guess this could be one purpose. And
Right.
it says,
So that's for women if they suffer atrophy during menopause. Like some women, because they may get so dry in that area,
right. It says decreased blood
and they
flow.
may not
and
want to
get
try
dried up.
like a hormone or something like that to help get some moisture going on down there. They may want to use that option, but that's common. But those are for like patients typically, who are older who get that procedure done. But I've seen women in their 20s get it done. Women
Wow.
in their 30s. Yeah.
They supposed to be at they peak.
No, Jay.
So
Well,
it says that
They
the
just
vaginal.
starting out. They just starting out. It's in their 20s. They're not at their peak yet. Just saying.
It's all downhill from there.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, some of it is just aesthetically. Like if you have some women who
Can you
are very
see a vaginal
physically active, like women who ride horses, things like that, where you're getting a lot of
beat it up,
activity in that area where it's
smashing?
Okay.
Literally,
then
that's where
sometimes
the
they may
term
want to get it
smashing
done. I've seen
comes
a lot
from.
of women who are in that profession who choose to get that done.
Because they got smashed,
You're
literally.
getting beat up. You're getting beat up all the time. So hey.
Now let me ask you this, because this is not something I have noticed in my life. It says the vaginal lining is thick and moist, and then on this one it becomes thin and dry. Can you actually see this being thick and moist and juicy, and this one not, and shriveled up and small?
Jay, didn't I tell you that the other day, Jay? Didn't we have that talking this morning?
Well, I wasn't gonna
you-
put all
you-
that
you-
personal
you can- you
out
can-
here,
you
but
can
you
see
can.
where- You can see where the walls are thinner. You can see where the walls are thinner.
So what if a guy, do he need a special tool to see this? I know it sounds funny, but
Why you want to see it though, Jay? What makes you want to see it though?
because that's interesting. That is a very great part of humanity that some guys wouldn't mind learning a lot more about and exploring and looking. They might be like, just lay back, baby. Let me look. Get it open and be like, oh, so that right there is thick and juicy. Okay. Now I know what spot to hit. And this part right here, that's your spot. Okay. Now I know. What's wrong? That could be good bonding time. And
I
she
mean,
could
you
be
can-
like,
you
no,
can see- you can
go
see
to the left.
areas from the outside, and some things you can see immediately, internally. But it's not hard to see it. But yeah, I mean, usually when a woman has a level of atrophy where there's dryness going on, she'll complain about having pain. She'll complain about being dry. And that's a whole nother thing often that women don't talk about, is going through that stage where you're going through menopause and suffering dryness or having pain with intercourse, or just pain in general because you're dry, right? And so women of our mothers or grandmothers' generations, they often suffered in silence. But nowadays things are so different with the technology that we have. And there are so many Black and women of color, gynecologists out there. Go and get some help. The resources are there, and it's so common where it's an easy remedy, it's an easy fix. So there's no need for you to feel like you have to have this shameful part of your life, or you can't enjoy those elements of your life after you get to be a certain age. Those days are one and done. Like, we're in a new era now. It's 2022. It's time for women to get their time back, get your femininity back, enjoy yourself. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This woman, the first time I ever saw KY, like, she needing it, she had it. She had her own little stash she would have. She was like in her 40s, and she whipped it out. She like, hold on, get a little squirt first of this before. I'm like, what's this do? I'm all like, what is this? What we doing? Why you need it? She like, cause it help out. I'm like, but why you need this? And then she had to break it down, and I'm like, aha. Then I just go ahead and squirt it up.
And some of that, it's not even related to age. It really has to do with a woman's level of hormones. You see the same thing with women if they're breastfeeding.
And
You
what?
see the same type of symptoms, as you would, is with the menopausal woman. Fluctuation in the hormones, having some type of dryness going on, even hot flashes, because there's a change in the hormones constantly. And a lot of her hormones are being fed to baby, and the fluctuation of hormones after having a baby, all of that stuff happens too with women, even when they're younger. So, I mean, I think it's something that should be talked about more often so it doesn't seem so taboo.
Yeah, and I was about to say, I think all women should not be ashamed, because I don't know any man that would be like, what? Forget it then. They would be like, oh, okay, that's what's up. This what it is. Then let's do that, and let's go ahead. Like,
but you know where that stems from, Jay? That stems from yesteryear, where, remember, women were viewed as unclean and dirty when they had their periods, right?
Well,
not knowing that blood is actually
the light
blood that was retained to create pregnancy, to house that connection to create pregnancy, right? So when that blood comes out, it's not dirty blood. It was blood accumulating for the natural process of incubation in regards to pregnancy. So a lot of times from back in the day, a lot of things were viewed as negative. So that's why that taboo came around, like, oh, you have an odor.
From the man's side, we only thought it was negative to do it at that point, to have sex
then
in that
women
moment.
shunned themselves because they got the negative reaction, right? So they started being secretive and putting eggs in their vaginas. Duh. And bags of bush.
Oh, man.
Okay? Yes, and it's because they started to get these negative reactions from men, and then, you know, the lack of information in regards to their feminine health. So you're not telling a friend, you're not telling your doctor, you're definitely hiding it from your man. That's why you're getting the bag of bush. So you don't have no information coming in that's worth you bettering yourself and taking care of your health.
He come in and start burning that bush thinking it was potpourri, and you ain't even got it no more.
Hello. So, you know, that is, to me, that's what enabled our disconnect right now. That back in the day, the lack of information that was free-flowing was definitely taboo. You couldn't talk about it. And then a lot of women were reviewed as dirty. Just from natural occurrences in our body. Because I know a lot of people, for example, in the Rastafarian culture, you couldn't prepare a meal if you were on your period. You couldn't sleep in the same bed if you were on your period, right? And it was viewed as you're unclean, you're dirty. But how could actually you be unclean and dirty for the natural progression of the female body in regards to receiving sperm to incubate the fetus to the baby? Well, how could that be dirty?
They not. So let's not say they know what everything is, got everything right. But if that was the case, where do they make the woman sleep? I don't understand that. Where's she?
When I was on a couch in another bed or something, they were seen as unclean.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
what happens.
In some religions too, a woman couldn't come to worship if she was on her period as well. So, yeah.
So a lot of things we were ostracized, and then it became a secret. So you couldn't tell somebody. You couldn't tell your mama. Your mama wasn't telling you because she learned the way of don't tell nobody nothing, right? Or she told you spray the boric acid up in your crotch, and then all will be well.
See, a lot of that I think come from people not having access to health care back before Jim Crow or even slavery, and so they used a lot of home remedies because that's all they could do. And so
but it
pass
also has
it down.
The limitation of us communicating on what's normal, right?
Yeah.
So it was viewed as negative. So when things are negative, you don't want to talk about it openly. So because of that, now you're not telling your grandma who may have the home remedy. You're not telling mommy or auntie what's going on because you're ashamed and you're embarrassed because it's a negative no. That you just, as a woman, as a young woman, you just bred into that. So you're not getting the correct information to make proper decisions on your feminine health.
Right.
Just not.
Let me give a shout out to Victor Scott for the super chat. Thank you for spreading love. What's up, family? I'm back. Good to have you back. I appreciate it. Let me ask one question right quick. So I know I was joking, but at the same time, I was serious. You all let me know about 1 if you agree, 2 if you don't, and I ask you ladies, is that good relationship bonding or a good relationship experience if the guy say, why don't you lay back and let me look up in that thing and learn your spots and about it? Would that be good, bad? I'm saying y'all in a good relationship, maybe even married. I mean, if my woman said lay back and let me examine your parts, I wouldn't be like, no, that's my privacy.
I think I agree. I think it's healthy. I don't think that I think that a lot of our taboos prevent us from being free in that department. You know what I mean? It's just so taboo that no. You're so apprehensive about everything that's really natural. So yeah, I think you know me, Jay. I'm straight. Put it out there, front load it. Check it out.
Yeah, you be like on the first date, let me see. Pull them down, inspection time. What's the blue thing? That's some ink, baby. I was writing this report in the nude, and the pen slipped. I didn't realize I was sleepy. I was tired.
Now you got to check in the cabinet in the bathroom to see if you got the boric acid roach. Oh,
I know, right? Guys, if she got boric acid in the bathroom,
leave, cut one time, just cut.
She got cucarachas, not no bugs. She got a cucaracha up in that mud. Marika, what you think? Is that good, healthy relationship or doing too much or what?
I mean, I think it is. It's a healthy way of communication. I think that it helps to kind of let down those walls, so to speak. You know, no pun intended. You know,
I like that pun.
Like, I mean, I talked to my husband about that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, after I had, a surgery in an area, you know what I mean? I told my husband, hey, can you go look? Like, can you go feel? I mean, it is, right?
Right. That's true.
Right. So, I mean, I just feel like it's not a big deal. But it helped him to be more understanding. Yeah, and more sensitive. Because sometimes guys can be kind of abrasive and be insensitive to those things because we're dealing with opposite parts, right? So they don't deal with the same things that we deal with.
And we don't know. We don't understand, really.
Yeah. And then often, too, and one thing I have seen so often, and it's typically with young girls, and then you have some old heads, you'll see it with them too, but they'll come into the doctor's office, all type of irritated down there, and you ask them, and they let their man use their male member or a finger in their lady parts. And the guy's not knowing what he's doing there, and he's irritating her situation. And so she's coming in because she's all raw, she's all irritated, and she needs cream or something, to help kind of calm the skin down. And it's like, girl, tell him, no, we can't do that here. It doesn't work like that. And men don't really understand that. So it's up to us as women to convey that. Like, no.
Without shame.
Exactly. Like, yeah, it's okay to be kinky and have your fun or whatever, but the rule is front to back. Everything goes front to back, not back to front. When you go from back to front,
and she ain't talking about no hydraulic switches. You're right.
Right, and what about fingernails too, Barika? If you're trying to be all nice, make sure your fingernails are clean because that could throw stuff off, and then you're gonna point fingers at us to say, "Oh, you foul or you whatever," but your fingernails are dirty, and you're trying to do the most with them, and then you causing me drama.
And you should keep your fingernails low too.
Yes,
and
because you
clean.
could be scratching. You could be scratching that area and causing irritation. And that's another thing too that I think that people have as a misconception is they may see a woman with some type of like a odor, especially if it's like a fishy odor, and then they assume that like, oh, she's dirty, STD type of thing. When 9 times out of 10, it's probably not. Typically, if it's a fishy type of odor, that's a bacterial issue, like a imbalance in her pH. It has nothing to do with who she's sleeping with or her being dirty. She could be a virgin and have that situation going on.
That happened to me with a girl that was a virgin, and boy, she smelled like a fish fry.
You judged her, Jay. Did you shiver?
I ain't shiver, I almost passed out. No, that was my first time ever experiencing that. I was a freshman in high school. And she was real pretty. I liked her a lot. And then I was like dancing with her. I was like, what the hell? I didn't know what was happening, but I was like, whoa. Something, oh man.
And what happens with a lot of parents is that they don't want to have quote unquote sexual conversations with their daughters, so they dismiss health conversations with their daughter, right? Because they think it plays one in the same boat, but it doesn't. You have to talk about feminine hygiene and health, and that does not mean that you're giving permission to have sexual conversations, or giving them permission to say, okay, fine, now you know about it, you can do it. But you have to talk about feminine health and hygiene, period. Because a lot of these younger females, they just don't know about it. And I bet you they're hearing everything from their friends or online now. Like, you have a little girl who's going to see the IG post about the boric acid and go buy the damn roach powder, not knowing that you want to get that prescription from your doctor if you have, like Marika said, a chronic issue.
Right.
Yeah. Another thing too that we see is very common, especially with women who use certain devices like for their period, like a tampon, is some women, young girls too, they'll forget that it's there.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
They'll
I
leave it
couldn't
retained,
believe that.
And that's a huge reason for a woman would have vaginal odor.
Yeah, you can
have
get
odor from
toxic
having
shock,
that.
right?
So it's not that something's wrong with her. She literally forgot it was in there. And you have some women who are not comfortable with their body to go and take it out.
Yeah.
Like, it's your body. Girl, go put your
You put
thing
it in there,
and
take it out.
get it out. Yeah.
Yeah, two things. This one girl that I was talking to that was a friend of mine, her daughter had toxic shock because she left it in for like, I don't know, I don't want to say how long.
Just left it in.
But left it in for so long that she was like passing out and ended up in the hospital and found out she left it in for a long time and it damn near killed her.
Yeah.
Which I was like, for one, how could you and why would you do that? And then that can kill you? And then secondly, this little post, no, I don't remember that being told to me, but it is hilarious. It says, if it smells like fish, eat it. If it smells like cologne, leave it alone. It's very funny. No, I do not remember that. If I did, I would say it. I'm glad I didn't know or hear that or remember that. I wouldn't have been there. I would have never wanted fish again. From what I was told, it should have no smell.
That's correct.
Okay.
It should be like water.
It shouldn't have a scent
It
at
should not
all.
have a smell.
Right. Definitely. Well, man, ladies, you guys have definitely been great. I got a question. Tressa C said, question for the ladies. Do you mind having a male gynecologist?
No.
I prefer a female, especially a black female. If she's not black, another woman of color. I've had a male gynecologist before, and he was perverted, to say the least. And I was underage at the time, and he would always make comments about that part of my anatomy, which was very
especially if
creepy.
you're underage.
Yeah, it was very creepy. Very, very creepy.
What's a good comment to hear? And then Kelly, if you want to share some story that you had told me, okay. What's a good comment?
Here is, it's youthful. It's ripe and youthful in there. But you do have to know which is definitely over the line, because perverted, like, I don't think any gynecologist, male or female, because they have some women who are attracted to women, right, in the field.
That's true.
I don't think anybody who goes outside the professional realm, no, that's a dub. You know what I mean? And like I was telling you, Jay, like now, for if you have a male gynecologist, if your gynecologist is seeing you without a female nurse in the room, that's a red flag. That should not happen. You're supposed to have a woman to advocate for on your behalf. Your PCP or gynecologist should not be seeing you without a woman present in the room.
Yes, and you can always request a female chaperone.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Now let me ask you: do you think?
But you have to have them in the room.
Now, do you think some women may have a doctor that's maybe handsome and they want to look their best or be on their best for that doctor, or is that just like fantasy?
I've definitely seen that happen. It's a lot of handsome doctors in the Detroit Medical Center, and we used to have this one doctor on Wednesdays, and when I used to moonlight in one of the urgent cares, and my God, women used to come in there every Wednesday and just ask, "Is he here?" Like, they just got to the point at one point. But I mean, I appreciated the gifts, because they would come in there with Godiva chocolates and pizza and chicken wings and chicken shawarmas and all kind of stuff.
Is it too late to be a doctor?
Yeah. Jay, right? Let me get ahead. I'll be your helper.
Boy, what? Damn. Yeah. So I guess guys, if they, nuts was nasty, they would wash them. If they had a pretty female doctor, they wouldn't be like, or drawers with holes in it. I got to get the good drawers today.
You put your best foot forward, Jay. You put your best foot forward that day.
Oh yeah, I've seen guys show up when I worked on the men's side as well. But we dealt with some a very prominent male physician who does penile implants and enhancements for the male genitalia, and it's all female staff except for the physician, and it's pretty women that work there. So a lot of guys will come when they're cologned out, all trimmed up and shaved.
Hey, I came for a measurement.
Yeah. Yeah.
I told y'all B's the professional. She is the expert. She's just being coy, guys.
Right. Hey, last night I was knee length, you know what I'm saying? Do an update. Be like, no. But as far as the male, female, I do prefer a female nurse myself. I mean, I was in the hospital and I had some things that was sensitive, and I'm not against anybody in any community or LGBT or any of that, or men, but when they was trying to, use a catheter, I'm like, hold up, you got to send a woman. And he like, I know how to handle it. I'm like, no.
There's Jenny, please.
No. It's like a nightmare. I'm like, oh man, I guess we about to have to get a little bedpan or something up in here, because I don't care about your handle experience. You got handles like Isaiah Thomas up in here. We ain't about to do this. I don't care if you was not in that community. We still wait. Hey, what up, bro? Yeah, let me handle that, man. Let me see that, dude. Hey, no.
I'm done.
Get a lady.
People like to choose who they want to see, and often when you're filling out like a form, whether it's to go to the hospital or like to see your doctor, there's a little space on there where it gives you like an option for who you want to see or a preference. So there's an option. You can always specify that on there. I know like in women's health, when it comes to like pregnancy and things like that, we would have female doctors and female staff, especially for patients who say like they were Muslim. I know with a lot of Muslims, they prefer not to see male staff, like for the women. So we would always have that available for them and for other people, just based upon your preference. If you don't want to see a doctor of the opposite sex.
Yeah, you very technical and much better than me. I was like, no, no, don't send them back. No, send a woman. They like, no. They're mad at me. Hey, no, I don't care what, but he professional. I'm sure he is a professional. No, the operating hours for this profession is not over here. Just uncomfortable, man. So that just ain't how it's about to go down, man. So they got it together. It is a part 2 to that story where they tried to torture me, though, but I had to save that for Discord. They got revenge on me, and
no.
Yeah, they did it on purpose too. They thought it was funny, and that was really cruel and unusual punishment. I was very scarred for life. And,
sorry for you, Jay.
Yeah, they did me wrong. They did me wrong. They did me wrong. Well, ladies, I appreciate you all coming through as always. It was a lot of great knowledge, fun. I hope some people learned some things. I know I definitely did. Had a few laughs too, which always help. I hope everybody watching had a good time.
Hot dog in the hallway.
That was a memorable one, huh? That visual, you just throw it and it just don't even hit the walls. It just roll on down unobstructed. But anyway, I appreciate everybody for coming and all the comments and everything. And, Kelly and Barika, y'all were awesome as always. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Definitely. And everybody, thank you for watching. Before we go, I'm going to go ahead and put up this last comment. Miss Crafty, my girl, said, while we on topic, even though the topics is all over, but she say, I suggest everyone try menstrual cups. It's a game changer. Okay.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yes, those are good. Also, Flex. Flex is used like a menstrual cup, but those are disposable.
What are they?
You can use them once a day. The good thing about Flex, and that's for people who like to run red lights. You can run a red light with Flex in there.
Oh.
Wow. Wow.
So, Barika, when we go to Discord, you'll have to give us the whole Flex breakdown because, just saying, for research purposes, inquiring minds want to know.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what are the cups? Why is it a game changer? What does it do? You walk around with a Dixie cup between your legs or something?
It's not a Dixie cup. They're small, like rubber, devices that you insert, like for your period or whatever, and they are able to consume a large amount so that you're not changing them out like you would, like say, a tampon or a pad. They're healthier for you, so you don't have that risk of getting toxic shock syndrome.
Okay.
And then you're able to reuse those as well. Like once you have those, like if you get like the Diva cup, well, that's one of the brands, you're able to keep them. You use them, you take them home, you sterilize them, and you go ahead and use them the next month or whatever. They are awesome.
I never heard of this.
And also
Kelly,
for women, if you have like endometriosis where you have really bad cramps, You tend not to notice the cramps as bad when you use those Diva cups as well, and the Flex as well.
Kelly, you haven't heard of these either?
Yeah, no, I just got an IUD, so I don't even have that problem.
You ready to go? Ain't no red lights.
Exactly. There's no red lights, but I did hear about the cup. This was a long time ago. What was it called before? Not the diaphragm.
It's like a diaphragm, but a diaphragm you use for sex. These you use for your period. So the ones we had like in the early 2000s when I first started using those, they were called Instead. And so the ones they have now, they're called Flex.
Flex, okay.
Okay. And how much do they run for anybody that's looking to get some of those?
It depends on the brand. Some of the Diva cups might be $25, maybe $30, but you're keeping them, right? You're not throwing those away, right? So you're saving money versus buying products every month, right?
Right.
The Flex, like versus like the generic or like the name brand, you might be spending maybe $15 for a pack, and it may be about 12 or 13 of them in there. But yeah, you can use one cup for like a 12-hour period. Like they last for a long time. So it just depends on what kind you get. They have them on Amazon and stuff like that too.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a game changer, especially for now with the whole issue that we have with women's reproductive rights. Because right now guns have more rights than women do in this country.
That's crazy.
Pads are low, tampons are low. So if women are able to wear the Diva cups, if they're able to wear the Flex, go ahead and get them.
Right.
Because then you have something. Because it's really getting hard out here for ladies. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's
Definitely.
right. It is a shortage on tampons and stuff.
Well, I'm actually happy to see in the comments that women are using them because, once you could use something and they're reusable, that's a great as far as sustainability as well. So that's a plus. And if it's really, good and you're comfortable using it, then of course. Because I remember back in the days, it was a little bit, oh my gosh, really?
Okay.
Right. Yeah. They do have underwear out too that are pretty cool too, especially for women if they don't like to wear panty liners. So they sell them at like CVS, those kind of like pharmacies, but they're like double line. They're meant for you to wear. No, it's not like a diaper pull-up. They look like regular bikini like underwear, but they're specifically for your period.
What?
And they're meant where they like absorb. They're meant for like, say, especially like a teenager, say she does gymnastics or sports where if she's flipping, she's tumbling, she ain't got time to be trying to check to see if her pad's filling up and checking her tampon, all that. If she has that underwear as like, a secondary something going on, or like one of those super like light days that, and have like her panty liner or whatever, it gives her that added layer of protection without having those accidents.
A period pull-up.
So that's
but it's not even
whole different.
It's regular underwear. It's cotton. Like you use it, like you wash it with your clothes. Yeah.
So that give a new meaning to the period panties. They really are.
They are not frumpy.
Right.
Okay.
So Tressa, you don't have to be bold. They just back up.
Back up. Right.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, ladies. Y'all got so much to deal with, man. And
We do. But we love it. We love it about ourselves, and we just want to make, especially younger women, but just women who don't have a clue, to be much more aware that you're not the only one. You can't have an issue by yourself alone. I'm sorry.
Right.
Even the 1%ers have a crew. You know what I mean? So it's all of us. We in this thing together, and we have to normalize our bodies and how they function, and then we can help, get it better and turn up.
right, all the men that's still here watching, put a 1 if you learned something and got more respect for your ladies out there. I know I do, and I did. So Not that I had, a lack of, but, knowledge is power. And the more knowledge you have on anything, then the more prepared and, aware of stuff.
Right.
So definitely learned a lot. Have more respect for some of the things you ladies got to go through. And I think, I'm big on communication. And I think, people should communicate more in their relationships. And let them examine that thing, you know what I'm saying? And check it out.
Absolutely.
play switcheroo. All right, y'all. Everybody, thanks for watching. Don't forget to, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that like. And we getting up out of here. Everybody have a good evening. And we out of here. Peace. Deuces.
Yeah.